guys? Welcome to the Big Blue United podcast. My name is TJ. I'm here with my buddies Dan and Colin as usual, and we're back to give you some more exciting Giants news and probably a good 15 to 20 minutes of just total nonsense. How you guys feeling tonight? Good?
Where my dog's at?
How we doing? I mean, I guess we had some entertainment last night for a change. So that was cool.
Yeah, I agree. It was very entertaining for a whole 20 points scored.
Hey, whatever. It's two bad teams playing each other. At least make it fun.
I know, two bad teams with decent records. And all of a sudden, I think last week we were all kind of like, well, let's do the offseason pod. And, now we're kind of making a playoff push, which is fun.
Yeah.
But I'm still not ready to, admit that the Giants aren't a rebuilding team because they clearly are. And we have to maintain our focus on that. A little playoff push is nice, but, I'm well prepared for a nice wild card loss. And I think that would be a huge success of a season.
Yeah.
Hey, I just realized something. More of Gettleman's dreams are coming to fruition right now. He loved the rebuild while being a good team at the
I forgot about
time.
that. Winning while you rebuild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except they didn't win.
No.
Come close.
Yeah.
Now, what was the highest number of wins during the Gettleman era? Was it 4? Did we get more?
No. Well, wait. When did what's his name? Jerry Reese. He was let go in 2015.
I mean, let's use the powers of the internet
Because
to discover this information.
I'm trying to think. He couldn't have been the GM when we had the one playoff push. I mean, I guess he could have.
He might have. You never know. Ray Walsh. Yeah, nice. George Young, Ernie Kersey. Jerry Reese was 10 years, 07 to 17. Gettleman was 18 to 21.
Okay. Well, then that makes sense. Yeah, there was no way we were going to make the playoffs with Dave.
Only 7 GMs in the history of the team, but I guess it only goes back to 1947. So, I mean, the team existed long before that.
Yeah. Back
when Timmy Boy owned it.
Yeah.
Your boy Tim Mara.
Yeah, I mean, last night was an interesting game. I mean, I think, of course, I know the two of you felt at some point, especially later on in the game when Saquon started to wake up and just get a bunch of chunk yards here, chunk yards there, and it's just like, oh, this is cool to watch. I like this, but I know that the both of you were thinking like, oh, we don't really need Saquon to look good at all for the rest of the season right now for obvious reasons.
My thought was like, it wasn't unique that Saquon got those yards. I don't think.
No, but
he had that one move. He had that one move that was real sick, and that was unique to Saquon.
He had a lot of good moves this game. I thought, he came out to play, but and I'm not gonna jump off ship here.
Yeah.
No,
I think Gary Brightwell could have blasted those 3 10-yard runs in a row too because of the blocking scheme they were running.
Sure.
That's what I'm
saying. The announcers made very obvious was working well. Then they ran the same play 3 times in a row.
Which that was a great breakdown. I enjoyed that breakdown. It was very succinct, and I think very easy for anybody watching to actually understand what was going on and how simple the method is of having that bunch blocking scheme going. That was so cool. I love that kind of stuff.
You get my paisan Mike Tirico on there. He's going to break it down for you.
Oh, geez.
Hey, it's true.
Yeah. He's I'm about as Italian as he is.
Noted delusional man, Mike Tirico.
Who's to say he's not?
I mean, me.
I don't think we're supposed to talk about this.
No.
Well, I mean, it's funny. It's always a funny thing, but anyway.
I mean, I guess we could just elaborate. For the
in that sense,
here that we're discussing that Mike Tirico one time, came out and said that he is a white Italian man. You can Google it.
Much like
the words came directly from his mouth.
Yep.
So it's an interesting thing, I think. But
Mike Tirico,
not much to speculate on, I guess.
And World Cup champion Lionel Messi, both white Italian men.
That's true.
Yeah, Lionel Messi is a white man. Every sense
and Italian.
Of heritage, yes.
And he's the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just what my people do. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You're American,
for the Renaissance,
like the rest of us.
I'm American, like Lionel Messi is Argentinian. You following this?
Yeah,
you guys following this?
I'm totally lost now. As usual, guys, please follow Big Blue United on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow us, BBU Pod Boys with a Z on Twitter. And don't forget to download the DraftKings app. Use promo code TPPN when you sign up for some cool offers and whatnot. We'll get into that later. I was thinking, guys, is it time to migrate BBU Pod Boys over to Mastodon?
Yeah, that's where we can really get to our fans and communicate how we'd like.
Yeah, I think that we're going to start Giants Mastodon.
Yeah, and Signal. Should we get on Signal Messenger?
Giant Signal.
What about fan base?
Telegram.
Isn't Telegram like a right wing one?
No, Telegram's used a lot in business.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. Yeah. Let's get BBU Pod Boys on Truth Social.
They're all about business.
I love business.
Yeah, business.
Yeah, I do that all week. And then my 1 hour of solace is to be here with you guys talking about the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
right-wing social media.
Right-wing social media. Yep.
Yeah.
But let's jump back into the game. I think, the game was interesting. 20-12, the Giants and the refs beat the Commanders together. It was a good joint effort between the two squads. I think I said before, 8-5-1. We're sitting pretty kind of to get into the playoffs. Obviously, the schedule the rest of the year is a little interesting with Vikings, Eagles, both 10 wins or over, and then you have the Colts at the end of the year, who apparently you can just blow out in the second half. So just hope Matt Ryan's playing. So probably no trouble there, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm just curious, we always have to get into the Daniel Jones thing because what else are you going to talk about? I mean, so I just really want to share a quote that I read from Ed Valentine today, and I want to know what your guys' thought is on it, and then I'll share what my thought is on it. And he goes, Daniel Jones deserves to be back next year. If you don't know why, what more do you need to see than you haven't seen already? That's paraphrasing. But
read a stat line right now.
What more?
Read a stat line right now.
Was it like 160 something?
21 for 32, 160 passing, 10 rushes for 35 yards.
You know what the number one reason all these people will say Daniel Jones needs to come back? It's because of the lack of interceptions. Like that's the only thing that makes you a good quarterback. If you don't throw interceptions, you got to be the best quarterback in the league, according to Giants fans. It's infuriating. He got outplayed by Taylor Heineke again.
It's all good to win some games here and there, but like
game manager.
That tweet that I sent you earlier today was like a perfect representation. If you are looking for just mediocrity and a super average guy, yeah, he's your guy. Because that's what it is. The stats say it. The wins could be there. Sometimes they're not. Most times they're not.
What he said, he's not going to, more often than not, he's not going to lose you a game, but he's also not going to win you a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, which comes down to really the next question is why did the Giants win this game?
I mean,
Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Well, Kayvon and the offensive line woke up.
I mean, defense, offensive line, Saquon Barkley. Those are all the reasons why the Giants won this game. And the Giants have had all of their wins predicated by running the offense through Saquon Barkley, and they did that, and they won this game.
Yeah,
I think that's really it. And you know what? Yes, they had that one drive that was the best drive they had all season. Yeah. And Daniel Jones was, 10 for 12, efficient. I love saying Daniel Jones is efficient because that's all he is. But like, if people want to keep pile on praise on this guy for one drive the whole year that was convincing, it's like you see one drive and then all of a sudden Daniel Jones has proved himself because he did one drive in a primetime game where they scored a touchdown. Mm-hmm. If Kayvon Thibodeaux doesn't make that amazing play, the Giants don't win this game. Also, if the refs don't fudge up super hard, the Giants probably, at least go to overtime.
I wanted to say something about that. Yes, they definitely screwed up, and we definitely should have gotten some of those calls. But I have to say, I swear, broadcast teams all across America for all time want so badly to crap on all things New York sports. It doesn't matter what team it is. They will try to find a way to just never make it about the good things that a New York team does. It's just, oh no, the refs just what basically wanted for them.
I mean, if you were on the other side, you would be so mad because it was so obvious.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Funny enough, what's his name? Feliciano tweeted something like, "Oh, now all y'all are gonna be mad at the refs now with like a laughy face emoji, whatever, because we've been screwed on calls all year too. So, it comes around, goes around.
I mean, I think the funnier thing that I saw was an interview with Terry McLaurin after the game where he was like, I got up to the line. I asked the line judge, am I in the right spot? And he said, just move up a little bit. You're good. And then they threw the flag on.
I'm confused by that.
Come on, man. If that's a real story, that is totally insane.
I think we should check with Torm. I think maybe Torm was a line judge this weekend.
We need to know,
seriously.
yeah.
I mean, I watched that replay over and over again, and you see it. You see the interaction. He moves up just slightly. I guess the ref's argument is that he didn't move up enough, and the play was called already. So, I mean, the other argument is the ref supposed to put him on the line for him? Like, is that his job?
I mean, no, but if you're standing right there and you'd be like, am I good? I mean, unless the officials, I would assume, aren't supposed to go out of their way to penalize you. I obviously understand it's not their, job to tell you, where to line up or what the rules are. But at the same time, if you're, confirming with the official, am I good? And he's like, yes, you're good. That just seems, like totally unfair to me. And if this, if we were Commanders fans or if this happened to the Giants, we would be screaming about it right now. But we're not, because it helped us win the game. I'm just saying, we've always tried to be objective on this podcast, and ultimately that was total bullshit in my mind. Yeah. If it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that we're on the other side of it more often than not. So that's why I don't feel bad about just taking it as we got it.
I don't feel bad. I mean, refs mess up calls all the time. I mean, you're on one end or the other, but I mean, you'd have to imagine that, it sucks when it happens to you.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to happen to you. I mean, and when it's particularly egregious like this was, I mean, it's just a little much to kind of jump on and be like, oh yeah, whatever. We've had bad calls too. I mean, this is like weird. This is just weird. I hate conspiracy theories. I really do. But, people are like, oh, the games are rigged, man. The NFL's been rigged for years. I went down a rabbit hole on Twitter the other day, like reading shit like this. And I'm just like, it must be true after this McLaurin thing,
Yeah.
You didn't do your research, Colin.
Yeah, right. It's not the WWE here. Maybe there's been corruption in the past. There's corruption at different levels. I don't think in the games themselves there's much. I think there's bad refereeing. I think there's maybe some guys are betting on the games themselves as players. That happens from time to time. But other than that, I mean, rules.
I don't actually agree with.
Yeah, I know, but like
dicking around.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm just saying, like, from that viewpoint. I mean, I could see how people could possibly think that, especially after the as the aforementioned this weekend Colin Kaepernick situation and how it turned off a lot of boomers in this country from watching the game altogether.
Dan, do you know anyone like that?
Sounds familiar. I've definitely heard those stories before.
You know what is great about this game, to just hop back on Daniel Jones, is that I think you really could evaluate Daniel Jones in this game, because the offensive line, like you said, Colin, I mean, say other than Evan Neal, who had another bad game, played their best game of the year. Yeah. Jones was rarely under pressure. I mean, he was occasionally, but it was, 0 sacks.
Getting rid of the ball really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah. So you just saw, and Richie, you can make an argument Richie James had the best game of the season. Isaiah Hodges has been there. I mean, look, shut up, Dan. Like,
Richie James had 42 yards.
I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to make a point here that you were going to agree with. Okay, I realize that, Dan. 42 yards. Still, he was getting open. He was making catches when he was asked to. Isaiah Hodgins, same thing. I mean, there's not a lot of pass catchers on this team, so who are you supposed to bring up?
It's true.
Either way, that you saw what Jones can do with a good offensive line and some good receivers, and he can dink and dunk and get 160 yards, 20 completions, 10 of which came on one drive.
No touchdowns.
I feel like that was
no touchdowns.
That was a blueprint for the obvious that this dude needs to be in more or less a West Coast offense, like an old school West Coast Kyle Shanahan kind of offense, and it worked. Maybe his future, wherever the hell else he ends up, that's how you utilize him. Because I don't know why it hasn't happened already.
The 49ers, who have the best roster in the NFL.
What, you think he could go out there and be successful?
I'm saying that's the kind of situation.
I do.
He has to be on the team where he is not a crucial member of the team,
Mm.
and he has everything around him is perfectly set up.
Do you think he's purdy enough to do it though?
According to the ladies love Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got a hard enough Brock to make it happen.
That's good.
You guys don't want to make it. Do any Brock Purdy puns?
No, I exhausted all of them on our college text message thread.
He Brocks you like a hurricane.
Yeah, Brock Lobster.
Brock Lobster. That's a good one. Did anyone make these about Brock Osweiler or
No?
He had one good year. Remember? Oh man, he fleeced the Texans real nice. He got paid a real large sum of money and never did anything.
Where do
the
you think
Texans
he's
or
selling
the
insurance
Broncos?
No, he was on the Broncos, and the Texans signed him to like a huge deal, and then ended up having to like do an NBA thing where they gave up draft picks to offload his contract to the Browns. I think it was
silly.
Good for him, man. He got paid. You know, play the system. If you're a quarterback, you only need to have one good year, and then you get paid somewhere.
What? Sorry to jump around. What was the name of that quarterback that was on Green Bay for a while, and then he went to
Flynn?
Yeah,
Matt Flynn. Yeah.
Flynn. Yeah, he had that one monster game where he had 5 touchdowns. He got a massive contract and then sucked.
Charlie Whitehurst is another one that comes to mind in that situation.
Absolutely,
that was pretty funny.
All GMs used to be dumb like Dave Gettleman, you know.
Yeah.
then people were like, then owners were like, wait a minute, what's happening here? They got rid of all.
It's terrible. Yeah. I mean, we got to talk Kayvon, right?
Absolutely.
What a game!
Incredible.
What a first drive! What a first quarter! What a whole effort! You know, I think we were all looking forward to him. You know, translating some of if you were paying attention, some of those pressures and disruptions that he was creating. You know, translate to some stats, and you definitely saw it. And that one play, he did it all. Sack, strip, picked it up. Touchdown. That's the best play of the Giants season. The most exciting play of the whole year.
Do you know what I enjoyed the most about his performance last night? And it was a culmination of everything up until this game. It's clear, and I think this might have been a little bit of his budding relationship with Michael Strahan and their conversations. He seems to not care so much about the sacks, and first and foremost, be a monster at stopping the run. And he's doing it, and it's incredible. And that's exactly how Strahan played. It's like, stop the run, sacks will come. So that's kind of how it's shaken out right now. And it's really awesome to see, because you see a lot of guys come in first round picks, defensive ends or rushing linebackers, and all they want is that home run every play. And you see a lot of guys struggle for the first year and a half sometimes, and realize that like the NFL is just a different game and you have to play it differently.
Yeah. I think also I'd like to highlight that his rapid ascension right now is being assisted a little bit by having Aziz on the other side of the line.
Absolutely too. Yeah.
Which is realizing the full potential of this front, which is pretty awesome. I mean, Dexter Lawrence they gave him half a sack, but he was getting in the mix. He was getting pressure on the quarterback. And Kayvon's line, 12 total, 9 solo, 3 for a loss. And 1 sack, obviously, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And he looked like he was having fun.
Yep.
He's having a lot of fun. Yeah.
He was a bit, I mean, granted, he was all over the place, but there was a point in the game where like they kept showing him on the sideline just sucking wind. Super shot.
He gets gassed, man. It's because we saw what he looks like on Halloween with his shirt off. He doesn't look like Myles Garrett does with his shirt off. Even
I
though
guess
they play
not.
the same position. I'm paying a lot of attention to defensive ends with their shirts off, by the way. So you guys are wondering.
That's the kind of analytics we bring to the table here, guys.
That's right. Yeah. But Dan, I don't think it was just him this game too that was bringing the fire. It seemed like the whole team just seemed amped up for this game. I guess, it's fun to get flexed into prime time, and it was a game that was really important. But it just seemed like everyone was coming out and like really wanted to win this game and was playing hard. So I want to give credit, to the whole team here, except Daniel Jones, obviously. But yeah, I mean,
Landon Collins.
Yeah. Hey, you
Landon
mean our
Collins,
best linebacker?
Yeah. Why not?
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Aziz, 4 tackles, half a sack. I don't know who got that fumble at the end. Was it Lawrence or was it Aziz?
I thought it was Leonard.
I thought it was Dexter.
No. He hit him to cause the fumble, but I think Leonard Williams jumped on it.
Oh yeah, okay, he got the recovery. By the way,
Dexter Lawrence had 3 QB hits.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like
Per tackle.
I mean, I know we mentioned this last week, but the Giants' front 7 is going to be really good once they get like an off-ball linebacker that's competent. I think they're really going to have a lot of success because you really have good pieces. And Justin Pinnock really playing well instead of Xavier McKinney. You got to give him some credit too.
Yeah.
But my favorite Thibodeaux play was.
Oh wait, it's been straight. I can't take it anymore.
It's Thibodeaux. It's Thibodeaux.
Thibodeaux.
It's just Thibodeaux.
Thibodeaux.
Thibodeaux?
No. No, stop it with the TH. There's no in his name.
It's all season.
There's no TH?
It's a TH. You don't pronounce it.
Like people like want me to say things that are French, and I just don't feel like I have to.
I'm usually for it. I'm usually for it.
You know the Knicks coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
No.
Mike Thibodeaux.
No, it's not.
Mike Thibodeaux. What's his name? That's not his name.
It's Thibodeaux.
How is it spelled?
It doesn't matter how it's spelled. It's not phonetic.
I'm looking up this. No. Well, let me Mike
Thibodeaux. Thibodeaux.
There's no I don't see an X in here. So how do you even know it's Thibodeaux?
It's Thibodeaux.
It looks like Thibodeaux to me.
That's what you should call it.
Yeah, that's America. That's America. Yeah,
it's Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Kayvon Thibodeaux. So anyway, my favorite
Thibodeaux.
Tabon Calva play this week was because I did want to mention that there were times because you did mention him playing the run really well. I think there are times when he does over pursue, especially, and they took advantage of him on one play where Heineke, I guess it was like an option. Heineke, took that naked bootleg out, but he literally like overran him by horizontally by like 8 yards and then came all the way back up the field and tackled him. And I was like, look at that effort. Like he wants it this game. And he showed so much effort. I think that's what comes. I think he shows effort every game, but you're right, Colin. Like I think he was focusing on the right things and he's becoming a true giant,
And a leader. I mean, I know it doesn't mean much, but like in the pump up like huddle before the game, he was doing a lot of that, dropping F-bombs and getting everybody pumped. And I forgot for a second that he's a rookie. I was like, wait a second. Like he looked like, how some rookies, they're pumped up, but you could tell that it's not landing when you see these shots sometimes. And they're, the respect is still building. I think he's got it from everybody on that defense already. So it's sky's the limit for him as a leader going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a C on his shirt at some point down the line.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, I think it's clear he wants to be great, right? And I think that's what his knock was coming into the league was he was overconfident. He just wants to be great. And isn't that what makes you work harder and play better? Like a true inner desire to be good at what you do.
You don't tell anybody about it though. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
Can't be arrogant. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Confidence and arrogance. I mean, what's the difference at times? It's pretty much the same. It depends on, I guess, who you are, right?
Yeah.
What you bring to the table. I guess as a rookie,
like, what about JJ Watt?
Arrogant.
Was JJ Watt arrogant or was he confident?
Proved he was not arrogant.
Yeah.
Although he's having his struggles now, but he's an old man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out for the year, right?
No.
He's on the Cardinals.
I thought he was playing. I thought I saw a highlight of him this week.
I feel like he's always hurt, so I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I mean, he probably should have hung it up, but he'll be first ballot Hall of Famer. So what does it really matter at this point?
What about the Bosa brothers? Are they confident or arrogant?
Confident,
right?
Yeah, they're confident. They're confident that they have a lot of Kanye on their playlist, on their Spotify playlist.
You're confident they have a lot of Kanye on their playlist.
I'm also confident about it. Yeah. For sure. I do want to give a shout out to I forget the two guys' names, but Daboll mentioned them in the press conference after the game, who told him to challenge second turnover.
Oh, wow, that was incredible.
I'm going to tell you, I didn't see it the first time I saw the replay. I didn't see it. And then the second time after, and then they were like, yeah, it looks like it. I was like, oh, man, that's so close. What a good call.
Rarely does that happen where the runner is going down and the fumble actually ends up a fumble like that. Usually in the moment when it's all real fast, it looks like it could be, but it's not. That's one of those
hang on, I'm looking up these guys' names that Daboll mentioned.
Like, what are they? Like video assistants?
Cade Knox and Ty Siam.
Oh, Cade Knox is that like Harvard kid or something?
Yeah, they're both Ivy Leaguers. They're both in the analytics department. Apparently, they both have a pathway to Daboll's headset during the game to give him advice on time management and fourth down decisions and things of that nature. He also apparently they also told him to go for it on the 4th and 9 on that one drive, the best drive of the year.
Yeah, those guys have like the best job ever. They're like 27, 25 each, and they have like weekly meetings with Daboll. I looked one of them up on LinkedIn, and he's just like he played at like Cornell and then went to work at like Deloitte, and now he's essentially a coach.
Incredible
on the Giants just because he's good at like Excel. It's pretty sick.
All the data, man. I mean, that's the kind of guy Dave Gettleman would have him getting coffee for him.
Yeah,
instead of doing anything productive.
Yeah. Does he know about cutting people's jibs, or does he know how to run the numbers?
He has no idea what a jib even is. Zero jib skills. Can't make it in this league with no jib skills, man.
We need more jib.
Got to have more jib. I like he's got a really good resume. Look at this GPA. Really a lot of good internships.
This guy's got a math degree from Cornell.
Doesn't say anything about jibs on here, though. Yeah. Throw this one out.
But how's your jib analysis?
Here's my buddy Tim. He makes my white bacon, egg, and cheese down at the bodega for me. I like the cut of his jib. He knows about jibs.
What about Kayvon? What do you think about his Thibodeaux?
It's good. It's good.
Kayvon. You know what? Kayvon Thibodeaux is I like his cut.
Cut of that.
Solid cut.
Strong cut.
It's got that I don't remember what those diamond cuts are, but it's been a long time since I got engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a V something.
Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
it's an arrogant jib, though.
Arrogant jib. Arrogant jib. Well, this will be an easy one for you guys to name. I do want to mention that Brian Daboll looks with that goatee looks like a guy who argues with or posts anti-vaxxer memes on Twitter. He just needs a pair of Oakleys. Maybe like rides a Harley with like one of those leather vests.
One of those memes where it's all the guys and like the one random woman in those circles that would be mad about something being said on the internet. You know that meme? Just like these are the guys that are really, really. It's
like a lot of Ben Garrison stuff.
Yeah, it's too bad. And you know what? I think it was a strategic thing. I mean, he's wearing a lot of hoods this time of year because that's his look on the sideline. He's wearing a lot of hoods. He's got a lot of stuff around his face. It's getting cold outside. I assume that maybe he was getting a little itchy, but he wanted some more aerodynamics, so he cut it down.
Yeah, it's a bad move.
No, I wasn't
into it. I thought that like masks were gonna like stick around just for like warmth in the winter. People were gonna like start coming out of these winter warm masks, but nobody wants to wear it. Instead, you just get yourself a nice, natural face mask.
Yeah.
Or Daboll has warm cheeks. Doesn't need it.
Daboll has warm cheeks.
Warm cheeks, good jib.
Oh, God. We got so many names.
I'm going to name my next album that. Warm cheeks, good jib. Probably do some Vikings or...
Yeah,
I was just gonna before we do with the Vikings, I just want to highlight Saquon stats versus Brian Robinson 3rd round draft pick stats.
Oh yeah, Dan, please share it with us. Yeah.
Kayvon did get in the end zone, so we'll give him that. But it came in 18 carries, 87 yards, right? The whole game they were talking about how this is the old Saquon. This is the irreplaceable Saquon. Well, Brian Robinson on the other side of the ball had 12 carries for 89 yards, 7.4 yards carry versus 4.8 yards a carry. And Saquon had 33 yards receiving, and
yards, yeah.
Robinson caught one pass for 18 yards. They don't throw him the ball, but you can get that quality talent in the third round. We've got an extra third round pick this year.
Yeah,
probably. Consider
Reminds me of this Chappelle Show sketch. What is a running back? Oh, you can get that anywhere. Down at the corner store, the market. Take them in your backfield and wear them out.
I do have to say that the plays that, this is in defense of not even in defense of Saquon, but in offense of our defense, the plays that Brian Robinson ripped off, our defense looks so bad on.
Yeah.
Like just horrifically bad. And that's
the
weird part about Wink's defense is that it's like this, I hate to say the bend but don't break, but that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
And it's all
Colin,
it's like an attacking defense.
Because they did score. I mean, they did have almost 330 yards. They had 150 more yards than the Giants did. But the most important stat in the game is 1 for 10 on third down. And that's what the Giants defense does to you. Yeah. It stops you in the clutch moment. It's been like that all year, but they're never going to be ranked well, and they're going to give up a ton of yards.
And it's fairly clear that's the method. And it sucks because no one likes that. Wink doesn't like these big chunk plays. He can't.
It's the only way they can play.
Yeah,
no secondary.
Yeah, well, and he's doing what he can with what he has. It's just excruciating sometimes.
I mean, look at the only points that Washington really scored was chunk plays.
Yeah,
big passes to what was it? Dotson. I get confused because there's a John Dotson that they had on their team, but now there's like a Jahan Dotson on their team.
Something
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was confusing the crap out of me last night. They're like rookie. I was like, this guy's been in the league for a while.
No, yeah. Big dude from Notre Dame. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, Jahan Dotson's from Penn State.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vikings.
No, I do want to. I forgot. I have to say one more thing. Is that when the Giants got introduced, and Dexter Lawrence said "Sexy Dexy,"
love it.
Did it for me.
Yeah.
And then also when you really got to see, it's funny. I know I texted you guys this, but when you really get to see the offense in their faces introducing themselves, you're like, wow, there's 2 dudes on this offense that are good. It's literally 2 dudes on this
Graham
offense.
Gano and Andrew Thomas.
I would say Saquon, he's good at a position that doesn't matter. But anyway, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is my go-to when betting on the NFL this holiday season. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to 100% boost with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same-game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, point totals, and more. Just don't bet on Daniel Jones being an anytime touchdown scorer. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN. Place a $5 bet in any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Colin, Vikings.
Yeah.
10 wins. They clinched their division. They just had that insane comeback against the Colts on Saturday, the biggest comeback in NFL history. I mean, if you're the Vikings right now, you're riding high, which I think is the biggest problem that the Giants are going to have. What do you
think?
Game
for them. That's what this is setting up for. I don't like being confident in a win for us for any reason, but this is a perfect scenario for the Vikings to be all high and mighty and then come in and lay an egg.
I mean, they did against Cowboys.
Yep.
You never know.
I think it's a good matchup for the Giants considering the Vikings defense is pretty suspect. And we've been able to, get some stuff done, especially with this new pass rush on our defense. If the Giants can hold them under 20 points, it's anybody's game. We can't score more than that.
That's the limit.
Interesting wrinkle for whatever reason. And I don't think this really ever happens that much. The Vikings are wearing all white, and they're asking the crowd to wear white too. So I'm not even sure what our schedule is uniform-wise.
We should wear all white too.
Yeah, really.
Everybody wear white.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both
White
teams
out.
get white helmets too.
Well, what bothers me about it is the promo. I saw it was on like UniWatch or something like that. And it was like this whole thing where, they're showing the snow and like, oh, Minnesota, it's so cold. And then they show the stadium, and I'm just like, it's indoors.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
The only thing that's a problem is people getting to the stadium. There's nothing cold about this. So lame. So I don't know. I think it's a tale of whatever, any given Sunday or Saturday in this case. Who knows which Kirk Cousins is going to show up on Saturday? We don't know.
You don't know anything.
Yeah.
I do think that the Vikings have looked a little vulnerable this year against lesser competition. So I think the any given Sunday theory is a good one for this game. I think that the way the Vikings offense works is good for the Giants too, because they have a lower, their rushing attack is not very good. If they're going to be forced to throw the ball, then I think that, this reinvigorated pass rush is going to be something that can, get to Kirk Cousins and disrupt his timing with, obviously a talented receiver group. Where I do think they're going to have a problem, Dan, you did mention that, their defense isn't very good, but their run defense is actually pretty good. Top 5 according to PFF. So I think that's really where the Giants are going to struggle. I think the offense is going to be hard. We've seen all year when Saquon Barkley can't get going, the Giants can't win. So the Giants are going to have to win a different way this game. And I think if, they can manage to do that, they can get something out of Daniel Jones, whether it's with his, legs or arm. I think then that gives the Giants a lot more chance to win this game than anything else.
Same game plan as last week. Quick throws, get the ball out of his hands, and use the short passing game as the running game if it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, that drive of this game was frustrating, as much as it was great, because, you wonder why they're not replicating this play calling more often, because you do have success, or if this was just, a fluke of a drive that can't be replicated by this team with the personnel they have. So, I'd hope to see that, I think, I'm already out in Daniel Jones, but my opinion maybe could change if he can orchestrate several more drives like that before the season ends, especially against the Vikings and the Eagles.
Yeah, the old proverbial put up or shut up time is certainly now. That's
I mean, throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, and maybe I'll consider you to be a quarterback that could be viable in the future for the Giants, but I don't suspect that'll happen.
Or here's what we do. I got it. I have it all figured out. Let's build a time machine and send Daniel Jones back in time. He'd be a great quarterback 40 years ago.
I would just kind of go back and maybe draft Micah Parsons and I don't know. What would I do? No, that's not what I would do if I go back in time. You know what I do? I'd go to like 2008 and buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the Giants.
Yeah. Let's send Daniel Jones.
Care about football.
We're gonna send Daniel Jones back in time to buy TJ and I Bitcoin.
Yeah. Perfect.
This is the most important thing I'm going to say all pod. I've been keeping a tally, and Colin has said proverbial in the past 10 podcasts. So we should keep it going.
Every single one?
At least the last 5. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I'm using it out of context or anything.
Yeah.
I think we all have certain phrases we say a lot. I know I always say like that being said. I say that way too many times.
I always say running backs don't matter.
Well,
yeah, you've said that on the past 90 pods.
Yeah.
This is the 91st pod, by the way.
That's right.
Is it actually?
Wondering. Yes.
Wow.
Too old.
Yeah,
for
been
this.
at it for a while.
Yeah.
Been doing this for years, man. Got them everywhere.
Yeah.
You think I'm getting paid for podcasts? You got the game distorted.
Can't afford
All right.
it.
Anything else tonight?
Let's do that whole song, but bleeped out.
Or chode instead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. Just to give some context we're talking to, if you're still listening to this podcast right now,
and you're looking for direction in your life,
if you're looking for something to make you feel something in these bleak times, you go and you look up Too Short, Two Bitches, and you give it a listen. And if you don't feel better afterwards, you can email Dan at bigblueunitedpodcast@gmail.com and tell him all about it and how mad you are at us. For
What album was that off? Do you
That's
remember?
off You Nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bow, 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 now, bow, now.
Oh, what a great track. Thank you for listening tonight, guys. Please follow Big Blue United on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow us at BBU Podboys with the Z on Twitter. Download the DraftKings app. Use promo code TPPN. And please listen to Too Short, You Nasty in its entirety. Have a good one.